Okay, this video is to go over homework packet 2D. So let's look at problem number 5 on lesson 216. It says the sum of measures of angles of a quadrilateral is always 360s. Explain why. So quadrilateral is some polygons with full size. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 angles. And if you add all the angles, you should get those angles must add up to 360s. Why is that, right? So I want you to think about the triangle angle sum theorems, or those, if you have triangles, we can only set it up with the smaller cases, simpler cases. We have 3 angles, and that 3 angles must add up to 180 degrees. So if you're splitting a quadrilateral, you see 2 triangles. So I don't want to give you too much hints, but that's something that you can, those are the hints to solve the problem. Okay? 217. Problem number 12. So you have shape A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it says which of the following figures appear to be kites, and explain. So the definition of kites is that it is a quadrilateral, which means four-sided, and then you have adjacent side a congruence. That means the length of 2 sides must be congruent. So that has to be congruent, and these guys must be congruent. For example, this could be 3 inches and 3 inches, and that could be 5 inches and 5 inches. Those are the kites. So use that definition of kites and explain that, which figures are kites. Okay, so let's look at problem number 9 on lesson 218. It says a parallelogram, so it says for exercise 9 to 28, complete each sentence with always, sometimes, or never to make the statement true. Number 9. A parallelogram blank has 2 congruent sides. So parallelogram blank 2 congruent sides. Does parallelogram always have 2 congruent sides? Or sometimes, or never? So parallelogram, let's think about the parallelogram. Parallelogram is the one that has, it is a quadrilateral, right? That has a pair of parallel sides, right? Do they always have 2 congruent sides? Yes or no, right? Or do they never have one? Do they sometimes have one, right? So problem number 10 says a parallelogram always, sometimes, never has 3 congruent sides. So that's number 10. How about 3, right? Do they always have 3 congruent sides, or do they never have 3 congruent sides, or do they sometimes have 3 congruent sides? So that's the number 10, and so on and so forth. Keep doing that. Let's move on to lesson 219. Let's look at number 15. It says, prove that a parallelogram with 1 right angle is a rectangle. So let's think about the parallelogram. Parallelogram has 2 opposite sides of parallel, right? That's why it's called parallelogram. If one side is 90 degrees, right, then it says it has to be rectangle. Why? So that's the question. You can use PAI theorem, or you can use one of the properties of parallelogram. You know, one of the properties of parallelogram is that the opposite angles inside a parallelogram parallelogram are congruent. Okay, so those are the hints that you can use to prove this problem. So that's homework 2D.